Have you ever wondered why certain people stay in your mind, even when life gets loud? Why a single message from someone can change your entire mood? Or how the smallest moment with them can leave the biggest impact on your heart? Love, especially unspoken love, has a language of its own. It shows itself not in grand declarations, but in the quiet things, the subtle signs, the behaviors we don't always notice until someone points them out. And when a man truly cares for you, even if he hasn't said it yet, his feelings slip through the cracks of his actions, revealing the truth he's trying so hard to hide. Maybe it's the way he looks at you a second too long. Maybe it's how he remembers something you told him months ago. Maybe it's how he always checks in, makes sure you're okay, and notices your mood faster than anyone else. Sometimes he acts casual, sometimes distant, but deep down, his heart is already choosing you. Psychologists say that when someone is emotionally drawn to you, their mind and body respond automatically, without planning, without control. Their eyes search for you, their voice softens for you, and their heart beats faster around you. Even when they stay silent, their feelings speak loudly through their behavior. And that's the kind of love this video is about. The love that hides, but never disappears. You might be questioning the connection. You might be wondering if you're imagining it. You might be afraid to hope for something real. But real love doesn't need permission to exist. It grows quietly in the background, waiting for the right moment to be seen. A moment when both hearts feel safe enough to speak the truth. This isn't about fairy tales or perfect relationships. This is about the emotional signals a man gives when he cares, deeply. Even if he hasn't gathered the courage to say it out loud. Sometimes he's scared of rejection, sometimes he fears losing control. Sometimes he thinks you don't feel the same. So he hides his feelings behind jokes, distance, or silence. But love always leaks through. In the smiles he can't hide, in the concern he can't ignore, and in the effort he puts into staying connected with you. The signs are there, subtle but strong. And once you recognize them, you'll realize something beautiful. You were never imagining it. Your heart noticed the truth long before your mind did. So in this video, we'll uncover those deep signs, the actions that reveal what his words haven't yet admitted. One by one, we'll decode the quiet ways a man shows you he's always thinking about you, even when he tries to pretend he's not. Don't skip the last sign, because that's the one that reveals everything he's been hiding. Take a breath. Open your heart. Let's begin. Sign 1. His eyes. Search for you in every room. There's a powerful truth in the way someone looks at you, not just when they look at you, but how often their eyes try to find you. When a man can't stop thinking about you, his eyes betray him long before his words ever will. He may walk into a room acting calm, confident, or uninterested, but watch closely. His attention shifts, scanning the space until he knows exactly where you are. Even if there are many people around, even if he's busy or in conversation, his mind stays aware of you. That's what love, especially silent love, looks like. Psychologists say this happens because the brain is naturally drawn to what the heart desires. When someone cares deeply about you, your presence becomes a source of comfort and emotional excitement for them. Without realizing it, they seek visual confirmation that you're near, because seeing you gives them a sense of connection, safety, and joy. It releases dopamine, the chemical linked to pleasure and desire. So even a quick glance toward you can make his heart feel just a little lighter. Notice the patterns. Every time you enter, his head turns just a bit faster than everyone else's. When you speak, his eyes shift to you, even if he was looking elsewhere. When you laugh, his attention follows that sound. And if someone else is blocking his view, he may subtly move, leaning, adjusting, angling, just to have you in sight again. These behaviors may seem small, almost invisible to others, but they reveal something incredibly real. You occupy his thoughts, even when he's trying to pretend otherwise. There's also a softness in his gaze that only you receive. It may linger for a moment too long, filled with emotion he's not ready to voice. And when you catch him looking, he might look away quickly. But the truth already slipped through that second of vulnerability. That look says, I notice you, I see you, I think about you more than I should. This isn't about obsession or possession. It's about emotional connection. His eyes are drawn to you because his heart sees something special in you, something that feels like home. And he might not say a word about it yet, but every glance is a message, a silent confession. Because when a man's eyes search for you in every room, it means you are not just someone he likes, you are someone he can't help but care about. Sign 2. He checks in, even over small things. When a man can't get you off his mind, he won't wait for big reasons to reach out. He'll find the smallest excuse just to connect with you. A quick text like, "Did you eat?" Or "Did you get home safe?" Or "How was your day?" may seem ordinary, but it holds a meaning much deeper than the words themselves. Because when someone cares, every little detail about you matters. Psychologists call this proactive concern. It's when a person genuinely cares about your well-being and wants to reduce any discomfort or stress you might face. Even something as simple as reminding you to take an umbrella before it rains shows one thing clearly. You live in his thoughts. To others, these check-ins look casual, but you feel the sincerity behind them. He wants to make sure you're okay, not because he has to, but because your safety and happiness affect him emotionally. If you're upset, he can't relax. If you're tired, he wants to make things easier. If you're silent for too long, he notices. That's emotional investment. When a man truly cares, his concern becomes consistent. He remembers things you mentioned in passing. Your presentation at work, a minor headache, that friend you were worried about. He'll follow up later to ask how it went or how you're feeling. He doesn't forget, because you are not forgettable to him. These small check-ins are his way of staying connected without pushing too hard. It's a respectful balance, close enough to show he cares, but gentle enough not to overwhelm you. And often, he checks in at the exact moment you needed someone, almost as if his heart is tuned to yours. You'll notice he reacts emotionally to your responses too. If you say you're stressed, his voice changes, softer, protective. If you say you're happy, his energy brightens. Because your emotions influence his, even without his permission. Here's the truth. Men don't give attention casually. If he's investing his time, his thoughts, and his concern in you, it's because you're important. It's his heart speaking in the only way it feels safe right now, through small but meaningful gestures. So the next time he checks in just to ask, "Are you okay?" or "Did you sleep well?" Don't underestimate it. That simple message carries a deep message. I care. You matter. I want to be part of your world. Sign 3. He remembers the tiniest details about you. Some men forget birthdays, names, and even important moments. But when a man is truly thinking about you, he remembers the little things, the tiny details you didn't even realize you shared. Not because he's trying to impress you, but because his mind pays extra attention to everything connected to you. You might casually mention your favorite chocolate, a childhood memory, or a random fear, something small and easy to forget. Yet later, he brings it up again. He remembers the stories behind your scars, the song that makes you emotional, the way you like your coffee, or the date of something important coming up in your life. Those tiny details take up space in his heart because you take up space in his heart. Psychologists call this emotional prioritization. The brain naturally stores information that feels important or meaningful. When he's in love or falling for you, your details become valuable. So even what seems insignificant becomes unforgettable to him. He listens differently, not just with his ears, but with his whole heart. He might surprise you by doing something thoughtful, bringing you your favorite snack without asking, using phrases or jokes only you two share, noticing when you change something small about yourself, remembering a problem you mentioned and checking on it later. These actions show he is not just hearing you, he is paying attention to you. This kind of memory isn't about perfection, it's about connection. He remembers because those details help him understand you better. And deep down, he wants to be someone you can trust, someone who makes you feel seen, understood, and valued. There's another subtle truth here. Remembering details is a form of affection. It means he stores the pieces of your world because he hopes to be part of it. Every memory is like a thread, quietly weaving his heart closer to yours. Even if he isn't ready to confess his feelings out loud, this behavior speaks volumes, louder than words ever could. So when he remembers something small you once mentioned without thinking, don't ignore it. That's not coincidence, that's care. That's attention. That's love growing quietly. Because when a man remembers the tiniest details about you, it means you're not just passing through his thoughts, you're living there. Sign 4. He smiles at his phone when you text. There's a certain kind of happiness that can't be hidden, the kind that shows up the moment your name appears on his screen. Even if he tries to play it cool, his face tells the truth before he does. That little smile, that soft curve of his lips, that quick spark of excitement, it all reveals something simple yet powerful. You make his heart react. When a man is always thinking about you, your messages become tiny moments of joy in his day. It doesn't matter if you text something funny, random, or completely ordinary. It still makes him smile because it's coming from you. You have become his emotional sunshine, even on a cloudy day. Psychologists call this positive emotional anticipation. As soon as he sees your text, his brain releases dopamine, the chemical linked to happiness, desire, and motivation. That little smile is his body's way of saying, "This connection feels good." Pay attention to the patterns. He opens your messages instantly. He rereads your texts when he's alone. His replies are thoughtful, not dry. He adds emojis or playful energy when talking to you. He tries to keep the conversation going, not end it to, "Isn't just responding." He's engaging. He wants more of you. More words, more connection, more moments where he gets to feel close to you. And then there's the moment where he gets a notification and secretly hopes it's you. When it is, his whole energy shifts. When it's not, there's a tiny disappointment he hides behind a neutral expression. These subtle emotional reactions are signs he's already attached to you. Notice how his behavior changes compared to other chats. He might ignore the world for a moment just to read what you wrote. He may sit back, grin, blush, or stare at his phone a second longer than necessary, trying to control the excitement inside him, because what he feels is deeper than a casual friendship. This sign may look small from the outside, but emotionally, it speaks loudly. A man who smiles when you text is a man whose heart recognizes you as a source of happiness. And happiness is the emotion people chase hardest. So the next time you see that quiet smile appear on his face, remember, you're not just texting him, you're touching his emotions. Sign 5, he mentions future plans. Including you, when a man can't stop thinking about you, his vision of the future naturally begins to include you, even before he fully understands why. It might appear subtle at first. A casual plan for next weekend. A movie you should watch together. A restaurant he wants to take you to someday. But look closer. Those tiny hints aren't random. They're signs that he sees you as someone who will be there later, not just now. Psychologists say that when someone is emotionally attached, their mind starts to invest in the future. They subconsciously create scenarios where the person they care about is still by their side. So when he uses phrases like, "We should travel there one day," "Next time, we'll try this," "You'll love that place," "I'm taking you," "Imagine us doing this together," he's revealing something deeper. He hopes you'll still be a part of his story. Notice how his plans start evolving too. They go from simple and playful to meaningful and long-term. He may ask about your dreams, your career goals, whether you want kids someday, or where you want to live in the future. These are not random questions. They are silent evaluations of compatibility. He's not just thinking if something could happen between you, he's thinking how to make it happen. This behavior is known in psychology as future pacing, a clear sign of emotional commitment. When he imagines tomorrow, his heart automatically puts you in the picture. He might not confess his feelings yet, but his plans confess them for him. Even his language reveals his intentions. He shifts from I to we, not dramatically, not forced, just naturally, because being with you feels right to him. And here's the most beautiful part. He doesn't just want you in the exciting moments. He wants you in the ordinary ones too. Grocery shopping, lazy Sundays, morning routines. He imagines a life where you fit effortlessly into his everyday world. That's love blooming quietly. So when a man talks about the future and includes you without hesitation, understand this. You're not just someone he likes, you're someone he's beginning to build a life around. His planning is not about someday, it's about you, every day that's still to come. Sign 6. He notices your mood changes instantly when a man is truly thinking about you. He doesn't just pay attention to what you say, he pays attention to how you feel. Even the slightest shift in your tone, the subtle change in your expression, or the quiet moment when you fall silent, he notices it immediately. He may not always ask, but his heart reacts before his mind fully understands why. Because when you matter to someone, your emotions live inside them too. It could be as small as your smile fading for a second, or as quiet as a longer reply than usual. Others may overlook it, but he senses it like a sudden change in the weather. Psychologists call this emotional attunement, the ability to tune into another person's internal world. This happens only when someone is truly connected to you. Watch his response. His eyes soften with concern. His voice becomes gentler. He asks, "What happened?" even if you said nothing. He tries to make you laugh or feel comfortable. He won't relax until he knows you're okay. This isn't curiosity, it's care. Genuine, instinctive care. Even when you try to hide your feelings, he sees through the act. The way you breathe, the way you move, the way you say, "I'm fine." He knows what you really mean, because he pays attention not to your words, but to your heart. And it matters to him whether you're happy or struggling, even if he can't fix it. When he feels your sadness, he doesn't judge it. When he senses your stress, he worries quietly. And when you light up with joy, he smiles too, because your emotions influence his without permission. This sensitivity shows he's emotionally invested, deeply. He doesn't want to be just someone who hears what you say. He wants to be someone who understands you without explanation. And here's the thing, men don't offer emotional protection to everyone. They don't adjust their energy for people who don't matter. So the moment he starts noticing your mood changes instantly, it means your feelings have a direct line to his heart. He cares enough to stay tuned in, even when you're silent. Because when a man truly values you, he doesn't wait for you to fall apart to show concern. He notices the storm before it hits, and he becomes your calm, quietly letting you know, whatever you feel, you won't feel it alone. Sign 7. He brings up things you said long ago. Some conversations fade quickly. People forget the little stories, the random comments, the tiny details that slip into casual talks. But when a man is emotionally attached to you, your words don't disappear. They stay with him. Even the things you said weeks or months ago remain fresh in his mind, waiting for the right moment to come back up. That isn't coincidence. That's connection. He remembers the way you described your dream city. He remembers the name of the book you said you wanted to read someday. He remembers the song you mentioned once at midnight. And when something reminds him of what you said, he brings it up, almost proudly, as if holding onto a treasure only he understood. This is known in psychology as selective memory, where the brain chooses to store information that feels emotionally significant. When he recalls your words from long ago, he's expressing a deeper truth. What you say matters to him, and more than you realize. It shows. He listens with intention. He values what comes from your heart. He pays attention because you are important, and it goes deeper than just remembering facts. He remembers how you felt when you said them. If you once told him something that hurt you, he will avoid repeating it. If you shared something that brings you joy, he will try to recreate it. That shows empathy, a sign of emotional presence, not just romantic interest. You'll notice it most when you least expect it. You might be surprised when he mentions a small detail you forgot you even told him. But he didn't forget, because to him, those words were a piece of you, and he collects those pieces, slowly building a clearer picture of the woman he cares for. There's something intimate and beautiful about this sign. It means he's not just talking to you, he's learning you. He's storing your memories inside himself, as if preparing for a future where he can use that knowledge to make you feel understood, valued, and seen. Men do not remember what they do not care about. So when he brings up things you once said long ago, it's his quiet way of saying, "I was listening then. I'm listening now, and I hope to keep listening for a very long time." Sign 8. He gets curious about your day. Without fail, curiosity isn't just a sign of interest, it's a sign of emotional investment. When a man constantly asks about your day, your feelings, and the small things you experienced, it shows his mind and heart are paying attention to your life. He's not just trying to keep a conversation going, he genuinely wants to be part of your world. Most people only ask, "How are you?" out of politeness, but he goes further. "Did the meeting go well today? How's your mom feeling now? Were you able to finish your project? Still thinking about that movie we talked about?" These questions aren't random, they show he remembers what's happening in your life and cares about the outcome. Psychologists call this consistent, relational curiosity. When someone feels emotionally connected, they naturally want updates about your life, because your happiness influences their own. Every answer you give, whether good or bad, affects him internally. He also listens actively, noticing details, asking follow-up questions, and reacting with genuine emotion. If you're excited, he celebrates with you. If you're tired, he feels protective. If you're overwhelmed, he wants to comfort you. It's not about the events themselves. It's about how they made you feel and how he can help. This consistency reveals something powerful. He doesn't want to be a temporary chapter in your story. He wants to be someone who keeps showing up every day. Even on days when he's busy or exhausted, he'll still reach out, not wanting to miss how you're doing. That is a clear sign that you are constantly on his mind. And when someone is always thinking about you, caring becomes effortless, even unavoidable. Men do not invest emotional energy in someone they don't care about. His curiosity shows attachment. His consistency shows dedication. His desire to know your day shows you matter, not just sometimes, but always. Because here's the truth. When a man asks about your day every single time, he's really asking something deeper. How was the world when I wasn't there to make it easier for you? His questions are his heart reaching out. His curiosity is his love, quietly asking to stay connected. Sign 9. He finds excuses to stay connected. When a man can't stop thinking about you, silence becomes uncomfortable for him. He doesn't want the conversation to end, not because he's bored or lonely, but because your presence, even through a screen, gives him comfort and happiness. So he searches for little reasons to keep you close, reasons that may seem casual on the surface, but emotionally, they mean everything. He might ask you random questions, ones he could easily Google, just to hear from you again. What was that movie you mentioned? What should I eat today? Can you send me that song again? Did you watch the new episode? He knows these things don't matter much, but they create a bridge, a way for him to stay connected without making it too obvious that he misses you. He might also send you memes, reels, quotes, or anything that reminds him of you. It's less about the content and more about the message behind it. I thought of you. Psychologists call this behavior maintenance communication, the small, continuous efforts people make to keep relationships alive and emotionally satisfying. When a man does this consistently, it shows he isn't willing to let the connection fade, even for a moment. He initiates conversations often, not waiting for the perfect time, because any time where he gets to talk to you feels perfect. And when he has to go, he hesitates. His messages stretch longer. He adds one more text, and then another, hoping you'll keep the conversation going. Even in person, he finds reasons to be near you, to help you with something simple, to accompany you somewhere, to extend the moment just a bit longer. Because leaving your company feels like stepping away from warmth into cold again. These excuses are love in disguise. Love that doesn't yet have the courage to reveal itself directly. So it hides as just checking, just wondering, or just saying hi. But you can feel the truth. He doesn't want distance. He doesn't want pauses. He doesn't want to lose the thread that ties you together. Because when a man finds excuses to stay connected, what he's really saying is, I like being close to you. I feel better when you're here, and I don't want this, whatever this is, to end. Sign 10. He talks about you. When you're not there, there's a very special kind of admiration that shows itself not in front of you, but in your absence. When a man mentions you, praises you, or brings up your name when you're not around, it means you've left a mark on his thoughts, one that others can see even before you do. He doesn't talk about everyone this way. He talks about you because you matter to him. He might tell his friends how funny you are, or how beautiful your smile is. He may mention something you achieved recently, or brag about your talents in a way that seems casual. But it's not. It's pride. It's affection speaking without fear. When a man is silently falling for you, he wants people to know about the woman who makes his heart beat differently. Psychologists call this social signaling. When someone talks positively about someone, they admire to gain approval and validation from their social group. Deep down, he hopes the people he cares about will like you too, because he sees a future where you're part of his world, not just a temporary moment in it. His friends may already know how he feels. They notice the way his voice changes when he says your name. They see the smile he can't hide when the conversation shifts to you. Sometimes they may even tease him, not because he admitted his feelings, but because his feelings have already admitted him. This sign is powerful because it shows vulnerability. You're not just someone he flirts with in private, You're someone he proudly acknowledges in front of others. That's not a crush. That's value. That's care. That's emotional truth slipping through the cracks of his silence. And here's the most beautiful part. He talks about you when there's nothing to gain from it. No audience to impress. No attention required. Just pure warmth at the thought of you. Even when you're not present, you influence his mood. You come up in his conversations. You remain in his thoughts. That is the definition of attachment. So when a man talks about you behind your back, and every word he speaks is kind, admiring, respectful, understand what it really means. You're not just on his mind. You're already in his heart.